everybody, my name is Allison. I'm the Programs Outreach and Youth Services Manager here at Monterey County Free Libraries. Thank you for joining me this evening for another episode of Book Chat. Tonight I'm going to be chatting with you about another romance that I read recently. If you haven't watched one of my previous book chats, I've been on a smidge of a romance kick lately, but romances that focus on a lot of other things besides just the romance. So the one that I'm going to be talking about tonight is called Love in the Time of Serial Killers. This is by Alicia Thompson. And I really enjoyed this book. I had it sitting on my shelf for a while before I actually picked it up and read it. And once I did, I really couldn't put it down. I got really drawn into the world. So I'm going to read you the back of the book. PhD candidate Phoebe Walsh has always been obsessed with true crime. She's even analyzing the genre in her dissertation, if she can manage to finish writing it. It's hard to find the time while she spends the summer in Florida cleaning out her childhood home, dealing with her obnoxiously good-natured younger brother, and grappling with the complicated feelings of mourning a father she hadn't had a relationship with for years. It doesn't help that she's low-key convinced that her new neighbor, Sam Dennings, is a serial killer. He may dress business casual by day, but at night he's clearly up to something. It's not long before Phoebe realizes that Sam might be something much scarier, a genuinely nice guy who can pierce her armor to reach her vulnerable heart. So as the back of the book kind of implies, there are a few different storylines going on here. One of the main themes, it's kind of alluded to on the back but not explicitly stated, is that the action of this book starts because Phoebe's father, who she was estranged from in a way, has passed. And so she's going back to Florida, to her childhood home, to clean it out with her brother. And her parents divorced when she was a teen, and she chose to start living with her mother exclusively while her younger brother lived exclusively with their father. So she hadn't seen her father in a while, didn't have a very good relationship with him. And so there's this whole element of grief and closure wrapped up in this whole narrative, which is something that I really relate to and something that I kind of gravitate towards in books. And additionally, there's the romance factor. So there's the kind of stereotypical will they, won't they, with her next door neighbor. And then there is another plot line going on with her brother, who is planning to propose to his girlfriend and having his sister help. And then there's this other plot line of her working on her dissertation. So there's a lot of things woven into this, and she talks a lot about her love of true crime, and it really goes in pretty deep into her academic journey, which I really liked because I felt like it really flushed Phoebe out as a character. You got to know exactly what she was working towards in academia, and I really liked that because I found that really interesting as somebody who likes mystery novels. So while that's different than true crime, I could relate to that fixation. One thing that I loved about this book is that Phoebe is in her early 30s. I believe she's just turned 30 in the book. I'm 34, and so there were a lot of references that Phoebe made to cultural things that I just found really funny. Because we're from the same generation. So for anybody who's in the, late 20s to mid 30s range and who grew up in the 90s, there's one point where Sam comes over to help Phoebe with painting, and Phoebe remarks that his overalls that he wears for painting don't look nearly as paint splattered as the Lisa Frank pandas she's used to seeing, and that made me laugh, being a Lisa Frank fan. There's a whole plot line about how Sam is going to help Phoebe's brother propose doing a flash mob to the song Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba. And then there's a whole discussion about that song, which was really funny. And so there were just like these, it just felt perfect for me in terms of the cultural references, the age range, just everything about it was a really nice fit for me. So I would say that if you like romance, but you want something that's not kind of the stereotypical romance formula, this is a really good one. If you're into true crime, this is a good one because you could relate to Phoebe. She doesn't delve heavily into true crime. Like, it's not like you're getting a true crime perspective in here, but she talks about it a lot. And then there are just some really nice relationships and discussions about death and closing yourself off from your feelings and distancing yourself from people during times of depression, and really looking at how you relate to other people. So I really enjoyed it. I just thought it was really fun, and as the back of the book says, a fresh romantic comedy. I could totally see this being a movie. It was really cute, and I really enjoyed it. So again, that's Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. We have it in our collection. Thank you so much for joining me this evening, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.